What's up everybody in YuGiOh YouTube land? This is JesseBurn representing Team FTK, and today, now that the weekend has passed and the ban list is kind of settled, I wanted to talk to you guys about the ban list and my thoughts on why they hit cards and everything else, and just get into it and discuss it. And also, we're going to be announcing the winner for the 700 subscriber giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure to stay tuned and enjoy. Alright guys, so the first card that was newly limited on the forbidden/limited list was Sorrow Lotus Plant Thingy. It's basically a level 1 plant that has 0 attack, 0 defense, and I never really saw this card played at all, except for like one YouTube video where I saw there was a Trickstar Catbat FTK, in which I didn't understand at all because I didn't really pay that much attention to the video. So I don't know why this card is banned, and maybe I need to do more research on it. So pretty much that card I'm just going to be like, okay, not really worried about talking about it as much. If you guys know why this card is banned, let me know. But then they also banned newly was NX Saber and Volker. And the reason that they banned that card was just because Gokis was abusing it, and the card honestly should have been banned during Zodiac format. So I'm not really sure why they would go ahead and touch Invoker now, but I guess it got to the point where it was being used in too many decks. But it kind of sucks because they made it where it's impossible for other decks to use that card, being that it's banned. So like Madolches can't play it anymore, and that really sucks because like that card was really powerful in Madolches, and I'm a really like big fan of Madolches and playing it with Brilliant Fusion and everything. So like I don't know a good replacement for Invoker, so it just kind of sucks that that card is gone. And then the next card, which everybody has like some controversy about, is Nightmare Goblin. So Nightmare Goblin got banned, and I can see why, because it's really broken. It's this 2-card Seraphinite, gives you an additional normal summon, and then it protects monsters from being targeted and all that good jazz. But basically, the problem is that they should have hit Firewall Dragon, because yes, Nightmare Goblin does make Gokis have a little extra push with a normal, but it does give other decks like a push, being able to use 2 monsters with different names and making a Nightmare Goblin. But Gokis kind of abused it more to make Firewall plays. So basically the problem in general was Firewall. So if they would have just been like, okay, the first Link ever banned Firewall, I think a lot more people would be on board other than it being Nightmare Goblin, because there would have just been like less controversy surrounding it. And it's pretty much just the problem that Firewall wasn't, banned. Which brings us on to the limited cards. So cards that are now at 1. So we have ABCA. We have A-Buster on the list. And the reason that he's at 1 is the same reason, is because of Firewall Dragon. Like, there's a loop where you keep destroying the A Assault, and you keep special summoning another one and looping it with another monster. I think it's like Machine Cannon or something like that, and then it burns your opponent for 500 damage, and you keep looping it over and over again. And it's like they could have just hit Firewall Dragon, and there wouldn't be a reason to really like nerf ABCs. Like, it's not that ABCs is a broken deck or anything. We don't need to hit A Assault Core, because ABCs aren't doing anything in the meta. There might be a top every now and then, but in general, like, the deck's not broken enough. And then also newly limited was Stratos, and which is really good for hero players, because Stratos has been banned for like fucking ever. And I'm okay with the fact that Stratos is at 1, because in the OCG I think they have 2 copies now, and the deck tops like every once in a while. But over here, if it starts topping and it becomes a problem, they'll probably just hit more things. But I don't really think it's going to be like a major problem. I think it's just going to make heroes like even better tier 2, and then like they'll just be able to play now and function better, like maybe even part of the meta, but that's like stretching it a little bit too far. So what else do we have is, let's see here, Morphing Jar is now at 1. And to me, Morphing Jar is like a broken effect in like 2000 and what, 2012, 2011, when it originally got hit. So like right now flip effects are really irrelevant. There can be a flip effect that made you discard half your deck and then draw 10 cards and it wouldn't be that busted just because flip effects are so slow. Like, this card is not going to do anything in the game. It's just going to be like, oh, okay, Morphing Jar at 1 this ban list, and it's going to be at 3 next ban list. It's not going to matter. And then, now limited to 1 is side frame Laurie Omega. And the reason Omega got limited to 1 was because he was like the most busted synchro, which is really crazy that synchro got limited in 2018. But I guess people just know that you can abuse it in like zombies and light swarms, and it's still a really busted card, and it breaks the link mechanic because you can move it from the extra deck space. Then when it comes back in the regular monster zone. So with that card being limited, I kind of understand, but like, it's not like light swarms were topping every single regional. Then also recently limited back to 1 is Evil Sworn Exciton Knight. So Exciton is really busted, and it's not as great as it used to be, but the card is still really good, and I'm kind of glad it came back to 1 because there's no reason it should have been banned this long, honestly. Then also Heavy Metal Foes Electromite is at 1. So Pendulums are really busted still, and you can play them all the time, and Konami probably has a problem with Pendulum still being able to progress in the meta after all this time, because the fact is that they're still topping and the deck has already been nerfed like 20 times, but it's the simple fact that the Pendulum mechanic in general was too broken because you play a scale, then you play a scale, and then you get a soul charge from your hand and your extra deck for free without paying life points. So if they would have never created the link mechanic or the Pendulum mechanic, we wouldn't have these problems to where you just keep nerfing a deck because it's still broken and relevant. Then we have A Hero Lives is now at 1. Makes sense since they put Stratos at 1. They don't want Heroes to be the best deck. They still want to sell other decks. Put Hero Lives at 1. Totally cool. Card Destruction is now at 1, which is really busted because you can play it in Trick Stars is what I'm going to be doing as soon as I find a copy if I have one, or if I can order one, and then you can also play it in Dangers, Burning Abyss, and it's a broken card. Both players discard their hand. It's really good. You get off all your graveyard. Now the next card is Hornet Drone. So they basically just wanted to give Sky Strikers a slap on the wrist by putting that card at 1. The real problem is probably like Widowmaker or some of their other cards, which they could just like hit if they wanted to abolish Sky Strikers, but they still want to sell it and they still want it to be a really good deck. And then also on the list was Super Poly. So Super Poly came back and it's at 1. I'm totally okay with that. I don't see Shadal's doing anything relevant without Construct. I don't see Heroes really doing anything more than maybe sneaking in a top, so Super Poly's totally cool. So that ends off all the cards that are limited. So now we're going to talk about semi-limited cards, which are cards that are now at 2. So the first one is Cosmo Dark Destroyer. So Cosmos haven't done anything in a long time, and I think that Dark Destroyer being at 2 would actually be okay for the deck. Like, I don't think the deck is still going to be like meta relevant, but I think it's going to be a lot better. And I'm totally cool with Cosmos being like kind of a thing because like I'm a fan of Cosmos and they're a really cool deck, and you can play like all types of different variations with Cosmos. Like you can play Tin Can Turbo, you can play Fire King Island, and having 2 Dark Destroyers is really busted. And like if it was up to me, I would say the card needs to be unlimited, but that might be stretching it. So then we have another controversial card, which is Called by the Grave. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding that with my team and everything because we were like, okay, they need to hit Ash Blossom, they need to hit Droll and Lockbird, they need to put those cards at 1, maybe 2 copies, but instead they put the card that helps us play against hand traps at 1. Well, at 2, excuse me. They put Called by the Grave at 2, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to me because they could have just put hand traps, but I guess they want to sell more hand traps and make more money off hand traps, so we are playing a hand trap format instead of having 3 Called by the Graves. Then we have Scapegoats, which was limited to 2, so they did that in a way to hurt Trickstar Sky Strikers. But in general, Scapegoats probably should have been hit to 1 because the card is too busted. I understand that it's slow and you kind of have to set it to use it, but most of the time you're only gonna like win or lose in 2 turns anyways. So if you get the 2 turns to live and you have scapegoats, there's a good chance with the advantage of having 4 tokens to link with that you're gonna win anyways. So I feel like they probably should have put it at 1, the same for terraforming, which is the next card we're gonna talk about. So terraforming is really busted, especially in Trickstars, because you get to search for life stage over and over because it's not a hard once per turn. And so that's really why they hit terraforming to 2, so they just kind of gave it like a slap on the wrist. Then we have the cards that are now at 3. So Cleafort Towers is now at 3, which is like an absolute joke because Cleaforts are not going to do anything in this format. Disc Commander is at 3, and it got an errata recently where it's once per duel, so it's not going to do anything. And then the next card right here, let me zoom in so I can see that. Barrel from a Different Dimension is at 3. It would help zombies, but we have no Omega now. And then my favorite card on the list that's now put at 3 is Ring of Destruction. So I love Ring of Destruction because I'm a burn player, and I think Ring of Destruction should be at 3. So let me know what you guys think about this list. Also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and don't forget about that giveaway. This is JesseBurn representing Team FTK. Out.
Yo, what's up everybody? This is the 700 subscriber giveaway. As you can see, I have all of y'all's names who like, commented, and subscribed right here on random.org. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit randomize, and we are going to give it a minute, and it's going to let us know who our winner is. And it is Angel Romo. So if you are watching this, please go ahead and hit us up either on YouTube or our Facebook Team FTK YuGiOh community page, and we'll go ahead and comment, reply under your comment to the subscriber giveaway video and let you know you're the winner. Thanks.